Here's a little bit of assistance for completing the homework on Unit 28, which is due today by 11:59. And I believe that this is going to be due next week when I get back on 12/7 by 11:59 p.m. And we'll go over a test review as well beforehand. All right, so let's look at Unit 28 first. I know the numerical order is backwards, but the order in which the material is taught was backwards too. So this is page 285. And then it says a graph modeling the growth of two plants is shown. Was I supposed to start on this page? Hold on. Let's actually go in order and start on page 281. My bad. I just got out of order. All right, so page 281. All right, so we're going to run and jump to plot the first point. And that's going to be, you're skip counting here by twos. So I'm going to zoom in so that we can clearly see this because the 2 is kind of written all over. And then this right here is skip counting by ones. So the x and y coordinates, this is +2 and this is -1. So +2 is parallel to the x and the -1 is parallel to the y. So that will be your coordinate pair there, 2, -1. And then you have to put it in the question or in the blanks there properly. When you do put this into Skyward, you do need to put parentheses there, comma, the number. So number. Pardon, I didn't even read the question. It says the equations y equals 2x minus 5 and y equals -x plus 1 are represented on the coordinate plane. Which ordered pair correctly identifies the values of x and y that satisfy both equations? That means the equations are equal. And that's where these equations are equal right here. All right, number 2 says look at the graph. Which of the following is not true? So I need to run -1 and go down -3. That's my x and my y. And then I need to ask myself which one is not true. Make sure to underline and circle all of the important parts in the question. Okay, so I want to satisfy both equations up here for x and y. So you'll read the answers when x equals -1, y equals -3 is true for both. The equations 5 times -1 plus 2 equals -3. So that was taken from here and from here. So you'll choose the proper answer there. And then we'll go on to number 3. It says the South Lake Cable charges $50 per month for basic cable and $5 for each premium movie channel. And then Lakeview Cable charges $41 per month for the same cable package and $6.50 for each premium movie channel. The graph of the equations representing the costs for each company is shown. So I need to look at where they intersect. So I run 6, jump 80. X and Y. My 6 is for my movie channels. My 80 is for my dollars. So I'll put channels for X and dollars for Y. If I were to make a table, channels would be X, dollars would be Y. The coordinate pairs that they cross will go here in these parentheses, and there will be a comma separating them. It says, how many movie channels would a customer need to purchase in order for both cable companies to cost the same? Movie channels. That would be your X value. All right, company on the next page, 282. Shipping, company A charges $3 per pound to ship a package plus a $2 handling fee. Shipping company B charges $2 per pound plus a $4 handling fee. The graph shows the equations representing the shipping costs for each company. So I'm going to look at where they intersect. That's where they're the same, where this is 2 pounds and this is $8. So I will write 2 pounds and $8. And I need to choose the appropriate answer that tells me what the weight of a package is in pounds that results in the equivalent cost for both companies. So the weight is your X value down here. Number 3, look at the graph containing the lines y equals 2x plus 8 and y equals negative 2/3 x. So I'm going to look and see where they intersect. I will run and jump. I will run -3 and jump up to 2. And this is my x coordinate and this is my y coordinate. It asks what value of x satisfies both equations. So I want x to satisfy both equations. This is not asking for the coordinate pair. It's just asking for x. It does not say what is the point. All right, page 285. A graph modeling the growth of 2 plants is shown. Look at where they intersect. That's where the growth is the same and the number of weeks are the same. So this is 6 weeks and this is at 4 inches. So after 6 weeks, I can spell, each plant will be 4 inches tall. So I need to make sense of that and figure out which is true for the situation. Number 2, it says, look at the graph. Which of the following is true? So I will run 0 and I will jump 2. Run 0, jump 2. And this is the x and this is the y. And I have to be careful with how they plug in x and how they plug in y if it's given to me in the answers here. This asks about these points being substitutions. Is there more than one point? We have to read these very carefully. Turn that down, please. Number 3, it says 2 linear functions are graphed. So let's look at where they intersect. You run to -3 and you jump to 6. This is your x, this is your y coordinate. All right, page 286, last page. It says use information to answer questions 4 and 5. Look at the graphs of lines y equals x plus 6 and y equals -2x plus 9. So you run 1 and you jump 7. This is your x, this is your y. So you will plug them in appropriately for your number 4. Your question number 4 says what's the ordered pair? So they're asking for the point, which is both x and y. And here it says complete the following to verify the ordered pair satisfies both equations. This is directly from your notes. Okay, we did this in our notes. This first equation is y equals x plus 6. You are taking out y and x and putting in their numerical values. You are taking out y and x and you're putting in their numerical values. You're just plugging them right in these boxes. Y and y, x and x. For number 6, it says 2 families held garage sales last weekend. The graph shows the number of hours each family worked and the hours or in the amounts earned. I run to 5 hours worked and they earned $35. 5 hours, $35. Okay, so then I need to make sense of this in the statement. It says at what value for x did the 2 families work the same number of hours? So this is asking for hours. For number 7, how much money did each family earn for that number of hours? It's got the $sign here. This is just asking for hours. This is just asking for money, not both. In number 8, it says verify x satisfies the x and y values of both equations. Your x is here. It always has a coefficient. Your y is here. It never has a coefficient, not until algebra of next year, that is. All right, let's go to the functions homework. So this is now page 165. Which of the following relations is a function? Remember, we went over these notes already in class. I will post them on Google Classroom so you can relate or refer to them, if you get stuck here. So it says, which of the following relations is a function? I need to check all of my x values and see if any of them repeat. Only the x values. No repeating x values. Okay? For number 2, the table shows a relation between x and y. I need to look at my x values. X values cannot repeat. X values have only one y value. X is the input, the independent. Jonah, that is too loud.
I turned it on.
I'm going to make you turn it off. X is the input, X is the independent. Miss Starling can't spell. Whoops. Value. The y's are the dependent. X always must be mentioned first in the statement. Input must be mentioned first in the statement. Independent must be mentioned first in the statements. So, is this a function? Do these repeat? No. So this is a function, but you need to explain why. For number 3, you need to do the vertical line test. Do these pass the vertical line test? Which one does not represent a function? Do these x values repeat? Do these x values have 2 arrows coming from them? Do these x values repeat? If any of these are no, then that would be your answer down here. On to the back. It says, look at the relation. I need to look, if this is a mapping, I need to make sure that no 2 arrows come from an x. If there are 2 arrows coming from an x, then it is not a function. That means it will have multiple outputs, and that's not what I want. I want one input to have one unique output. Number 5, make sure that you choose this properly. There's 4 pieces to this. If you get one wrong, then it's going to be a quarter of it wrong. Number 5, the table shows a relation between x and the y values. Do these repeat? If they're not repeating, or if they are, if they're not repeating, then it's a function. If they do repeat, then it's not a function. The y values don't matter. This is a yes or no. Number 6, complete the following statement. Every function is a relation. Every function is a true or false statement because a relation is a set of ordered pairs, and every function can or cannot be expressed as a set of ordered pairs. Okay, look back at your notes. What were the examples of the types of functions that we gave you? And number 7, circle the correct answer from each drop-down menu to complete the statement. Every relation is a function is a true or false statement because the function is a special relation that has a one-to-one relationship or many-to-one relationship between x and y values. Remember, we only want a single